So let's get the spoiler warning out of the way from the very beginning. If you are not up to date with the Mandalorian TV show, there will be spoilers in this video. You have been warned. So, in my opinion, and I think many of you may agree with this, the Mandalorian TV show has really brought some life back to the Star Wars franchise. The recent sequel movie trilogy really upset many hardcore Star Wars fans, myself included, and this show from Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau was very much needed to keep faith in the franchise alive. Video games are a huge part of the Star Wars universe, and with games like Jedi Fallen Order proving that there can be a good entry into the Star Wars canonical storyline, there is hope that we may get a Mandalorian game. But would it work? And do we need it? Let's discuss. So from the very beginning, I'm going to point out why exactly I think the show would work so well as a video game, and then I will discuss the type of game I think it lends itself to. So let's start by looking at the structure of the Mandalorian show itself. It has 8 episodes, or chapters, per season that are working their way through the main story of our hero, Din Djarin, aka Mando. Set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi and the fall of the Empire, the Mandalorian follows Mando, a lone Mandalorian bounty hunter in the outer reaches of the galaxy. He is hired by Imperial Remnant forces to retrieve the child Grogu, also known as Baby Yoda, but he chooses to go on the run instead to protect the infant. While on their quest to learn more about Grogu's origins and find a safe place for him, they are pursued by Moff Gideon, an Imperial officer who wants to seize the child whom he considers important to his plans. The show expands upon Mandalorian lore with the introduction of new characters to the Star Wars universe, such as the Armorer, who provides Mando with fancy new armor upgrades to help him on his quest. In the Season 2 chapter called The Jedi, he meets the Grey Jedi Ahsoka Tano, a powerful warrior that has an agenda of her own, so the two agree to basically help each other out to try and further their own goals. Now, without going any further, think about everything I just said. I could very easily have been describing a video game, not a TV show, with that description. With the main quest and side quest nature of the show, there would not even need to be much adapting to bring this from screen to controller. What do I mean by this? Well, The Mandalorian sort of has a bit of a pattern of having what I consider to be a side quest episode after every main quest episode. There will be a small task he has to complete in order to be able to get back to the main mission. Whether it be getting his ship repaired on a dangerous alien planet with giant spiders, or helping a frog lady get her egg babies back to her home planet, or even helping locals defeat a giant krayt dragon in order to receive Boba Fett's Mandalorian armor. We will come back to this soon. Now, while these episodes are often fantastic, they don't really drive the main narrative forward a great deal, but they are much more like a side quest in a game, ones that you don't have to complete, as they don't really have any real effect on the overall outcome of the story, but they may perhaps reward you with some kind of upgrade or enhancement that will help you out on your journey. Now, for a perfect example of this, let's go back to the Krayt Dragon episode. Now, while I have discussed the fact that many episodes feel like video game side quests, well, this particular episode actually was a video game quest. The entire final sequence, the plan to kill the Krayt Dragon in the desert, is straight out of the Knights of the Old Republic video game. KOTOR, as it's often referred to, is sacred ground for most Star Wars fans, and is usually considered the best Star Wars game of all time, telling a fantastic story that many hope may be adapted into a TV show or film itself one day. Well, one tiny part of the game actually was adapted in The Mandalorian. There is a quest in KOTOR that has Revan on Tatooine in the Dune Sea, luring out a Krayt Dragon with the Banthas and then exploding it with mines. The reward? A Krayt Dragon Pearl, which Revan then uses to prove to the Tusken Raiders he's worthy of hearing their history. I mean, literally all of this is in The Mandalorian's retelling. The Banthas, the mines, the Pearl. Though, I imagine some viewers were confused about the last part at the end. I think most fans view the storyline as a love letter to the original game rather than some kind of rip-off. So anyway, if a quest like this can literally be interchanged between The Mandalorian and the greatest Star Wars game of all time, then that says it all. The show is literally perfect material for a video game. But what sort of game would it need to be? Well, due to the space-traveling nature of the Star Wars universe, I think it would need to be somewhat open world. I think the general structure of Jedi Fallen Order would actually work really well for a Mandalorian game, being able to venture to different areas and planets at any time, but many things within those areas are perhaps off limits until you learn a new skill. Let's say maybe you need to get somewhere out of reach, as it's high in the air. Well, a few hours of side quests, killing bad guys and hanging out with Grogu, and then you unlock a jetpack. You go back to that area, fly up to the previously out of reach area, and the story can progress. Perhaps your new friend Ahsoka Tano needs a lightsaber upgrade. No problem. Go and defeat a crate dragon, get a pearl, and then she can use it to power her saber, just like Revan does in Knights of the Old Republic. You can see where I'm going with this, and I could go on for hours with more and more examples, especially after the latest episode featuring Boba Fett. Literally every episode of Mandalorian is perfect for a video game. As for actual gameplay, I think it would definitely need to be third person to accommodate for the awesome jetpack play. As for combat, I'm assuming it would mostly be ranged play, as Mando has a variety of weapons which could be great fun to upgrade and unlock throughout the game. So, even something like the Battlefront mechanics would probably work. What sort of gameplay would you guys like to see in this game if it were to happen? Do you think I'm along the right sort of lines here, or am I way off? I would love to know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. As a huge Star Wars fan, this is something I'm super passionate about, and as I said, The Mandalorian really brought back my faith in the modern franchise. So here's to hoping this actually happens. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time on Explore.